Brave Frontier is a game released in December 2013 and played on your phone. As a player, you're blessed with one of the six starting heroes in the epic quest.
Wait, hold on, Kevin. This intro again?
Well, yeah, I'm really busy and.
But today's a special unit analysis.
Alright, fine. Let me see what I can do.
In this world, where there's dark, there's light. Where there is light, there is darkness. But in the land of Brave Frontier, there is Hitsune Miku.
After 11 unit analyses, over 12 weeks of Brave Frontier collaboration, and $3,000 worth of giveaways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are finally here. The team is proud to announce the launch of our own Brave Frontier website. Hello and welcome everyone to the 12th episode of the Brave Frontier unit analysis. I am your host, Treylox, and I'm joined by none other than Lance and Nova.
Hi, everyone.
Hey guys.
When we first started on Twitch in June, it was for less than 10 viewers. I would have never imagined the growth we have experienced in such a short amount of time. Lance, Nova, what are your opinions?
Yeah, I remember starting streaming. My first week of streaming, there was only like 3, 4 people watching. I'm pretty sure a lot of people wanted to watch Brave Frontier on Twitch, but there's just no content for it. So I was thinking, since no one is streaming, I would stream, and then while I was streaming, I met a lot of good people. I met Nova, I met Trelax, and now, like 3, 4 months later, now we have a big Twitch community, and we can all like work together, talk together, and play together now. So I'm really happy about that. Nova?
Yeah, I didn't think the community would grow this big, this fast at all without you guys coming here each week and showing your support for not just us, but for everybody who does Brave Frontier content on Twitch. It's just amazing to see you all show your support, and without and you guys showing up consistently, none of this would have happened. So we all thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Great gratitude.
All right, guys, let's get down to business today and talk about voting. Voting is now very simple. To vote, head on to www.bfpioneers.com/UA and scroll down to the live polling section. Simply click on your ranking as we go through each unit. Your vote today will count as 33% of the overall vote. Voting begins when we start on the new unit discussion and ends when the discussion is finished. As always, we welcome all the viewers to participate, vote, and ask questions. Tonight, we will be ranking the 6-star Luther batch, talking about the Hatsune Miku and Luca release, announcing the art contest winner, and giving away Luca codes to some lucky individuals. Okay, let's start off today by talking briefly about the reduced energy, which was quite a pleasant surprise. Lance, what do you think?
We're talking about Mickey right now?
The reduced energy.
Reduced.
Oh, reduce energy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was looking at something else. Um, I was hoping for something else, but the thing is, I'll take the reduced energy if they give me the reduced energy, because we're really fortunate right now that we have the increased on the rate summon, so we get a lot of burst frogs right now. But eventually, we're all going to use all the burst frogs, and we're going to have to go back to farming again. Yes, we're going to be farming again, and that reduced energy, I believe it's 1 energy for 3 minutes now. we're gonna have a lot easier time farming for BB feeders, and I highly welcome that. And Nova's gonna tell you something different about like why he thinks he likes it because he's gonna try to get really high level, so he's gonna talk about that. But for the free-to-play players, it's really good because when you first start playing, it's really easy to level. You gain like so many levels so quickly that you don't have to worry about energy. But eventually, you're gonna reach a point where you're not gonna have enough energy to keep on playing. So, like at that time, if you want to play, you would have to buy gems. But now that we have such quick energy now, like you guys can play for longer without having to resort to buying gems. So I really really like that, especially for the new players. Nova?
Yeah. So when I first saw the 3 energy regen, I couldn't believe my eyes because I wasn't expecting it to happen so soon. Uh, it was just a couple of weeks after they got it in Japan, so I was really confused. And then I was like, oh, there's also a half energy event going on in Mistral. So I was like, the highest experience you can get for energy wise would be Fourfold Pillar, which is 2600 um, experience for 5 energy. But I was doing some tests, and since regen is no longer 10 minutes and it only takes 3 minutes, uh, I did some tests and it takes me like on average like 6 to 9 minutes for a clear of that stage, which means I'm getting 2 to 3 energy back. So basically, if I get 3 energy back and it takes me like 9 minutes to clear that stage, I'm losing approximately 2 energy um, per each time I go in the stage. And I have like 140 energy that I have to work with now. So basically, I can get something ridiculous like I think it was over 170,000 experience without basically using any gems. And that's enough to get me to the next level. So basically, if I just farm Fourfold Pillar nonstop, I can get to as high of a level as I can without using any gems. So it's basically free leveling for me. And I kind of under leveled. I say this a little bit for my level because I'm already maxed out arena rank and feel like I should be over 200 by now. So I'm probably going to do that as well. But as you guys saw in my earlier stream, I have like a full inventory of crystals, so I have to find a way to clear that out by fusing it into some units first.
We have a question from a viewer asking, is the reduced energy permanent?
Yes, it is permanent. We've seen Brave Frontier representatives on Twitter and on Facebook saying that yes, this is a permanent feature, and I think everybody wouldn't mind getting more energy than not getting uh, energy at all.
Yeah, and about the energy, like a lot of people were thinking like we wouldn't get this, like so soon because it just came out in Japan. So we're like maybe in a week or two, maybe in a week or two, a month or two, then we'll get this update too. Um, but they came out really, really quickly, and this is just my opinion. But I think that the reason why we got this so quickly was because of the New York Comic Con. So I don't think they would have liked the players, like new players, go to the testing area and play, and then be out of energy, you know. So I think this is one of the reasons why they released it so early, so that the people who are playing at the Comic Con will have more energy to keep playing. So.
Okay. All right, so let's keep going. And we have Hatsune Miku and Luca. These are two new units that came out, that just came out a couple days ago, in line with the Comic-Con Brave Frontier debut. So for those of you who don't know, Hatsune Miku is a Vocaloid who is actually computer synthesized. She originally gained popularity in Japan, I believe, and now she's spread worldwide. And I believe a few days ago, she even performed on the David Letterman show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So this is a show like David Letterman. I don't watch that generally, but I actually I was working out and I turned on the television and boom, Hatsune Miku on Letterman. I'm like, whoa, that's really cool. So she is making a worldwide appearance and she is here in Brave Frontier right now. Now, how good is she as a unit? Nova?
Well, first thing people look at is her insane hit count. There has been many people who have been looking for Douglas for such a long time, and I think that Miku out the insane 27 hit count to everybody looks very appealing, which is why I'm sure a lot of you are farming me for Miku right now. Um, I think that her leader skill is probably one of the best, especially for a free-to-play unit. It's huge increase to your BB gauge fill rate, and you get a boost per turn as well. So, Goddess Satsune Miku has definitely broken a lot of expectations for free-to-play players because now they have a unit that can spark even more than Demo, and we thought Demo was really good because Demo had a 20 hit BB, and Hatsune Miku crushes that with 27 hits. So for me, uh, because of that, like I'm not even looking at the stats, just the BB skill and leader skill in general. Uh, it's insane. So I guess for Miku, I don't normally give a free to play unit 5 stars at all. With Demo, I was thinking about it, and I did because Demo, I didn't think we would be getting a unit that could rival Demo in the sense that you can get Spark on BB, but with Hatsune Miku out, I'm gonna say that it is a 5-star unit. Definitely have to get one of this. As far as typing goes, for me, her stats are low, like in general. So, like Anima would be okay, and Guardian would be okay. But since everybody I know supports Anima, I have to go support the Guardian Hatsune Miku.
Guardian and how many stars?
5, because the insane leader skill and BB skill.
Okay, wow. All right, Lance, what do you think about Miku?
Just to say what Nova said about how good her BB feel is. I remember seeing a lot of people putting evil shards on their unit, and I believe the evil shards only give you 3 battle crystals per turn. And this unit, if you make her lead, she gives your entire team like an evil shard, which is 3 battle crystals per turn. And so just for her leader skill alone, it's a great skill already. But she also has really high hit counts. I didn't know about her raw skills, her raw stats. So I was really happy when I saw that she has a 27 hit combo, and so I thought that she was gonna take over Douglas, but unfortunately, from my testing, I was one of those people who just caught tons and tons of Miku. I caught 18 Miku, and like part of the reason was because I was farming Anima, so I wanted to make the entire team of Anima Miku, so I can fight Thunder Ez with the Ez Legendary Vortex with Miku. So that's why I formed 18 Miku, just so that I can get 4 Animas, and I got 4 Animas. And so I did some testing yesterday, just practicing, and what I found out was her damage is really low. Like you can put all your seals and your ores and your attack potions on her, but the thing is, she's still gonna be hitting like really low. So each hit you're hitting about 200-300, and compared to other units, I'm hitting like 600, or with crit teams like 8,000. So that 190% attack multiplier is like too low, and I originally thought that I can use like a full team of her. From testing, she's more of a unit that helps you gain battle crystals, and not actually a unit that you put in your team to actually do damage. So for this reason, I can't give her a 5-star because the damage is too low. But the thing is, she'll definitely help out your team. If you make her a leader, put her in your team, and she will help you gain battle crystals. But the thing is, she actually won't be doing much of her damage for you. So, my favorite type for her is Anima, and I'll give her 4-star.
Okay, do we have any questions regarding Hatsune Miku? Now, there are some people saying that, well, Miku drop rate isn't that high. But then, Lance, you've captured like over 10, you said, Mikus? Um, so, because I'm in the side where, well, the drop rate is pretty bad right now because I've run the dungeon probably 5 times and there's no Miku drop so far. So, Lance, what's your advice as to capturing a Miku? Do we like pray or what should we do?
Well, it seems that Lance well, has temporarily having technical issues. But as for me, I ran the same level 3 dungeon at least 10 to 12 times, and I still do not have a Hatsune Miku as well. So I'm not entirely sure how I'm supposed to get one either. So
So we need
it's kind of
Lance
weird,
here. Lance dropped the call, but he'll be back.
sadly.
All right.
So do you have any more questions for Miku? Because I know everybody is gonna ask.
What level
Why
is the best to farm Miku? This is a question from Jin Rise.
Rise? Okay. So I was told that there's like 5, 10, 15% for Miku. So like 5 for level 1, 10 for level 2, 15 for level 3. I'm not sure if that's the case, or I've also been told 25% for Miku at level 3. So if it's 25%, you should probably do level 3 dungeon. But if you want to just do more, like have more attempts, you should go for the level 2 dungeon. The level 1 dungeon, I feel, is like the same as doing a level 2 dungeon anyway. So don't do the level 1 because I think you'd have a better shot at level 2 and level 3 for getting Hatsune Miku anyway. Why the Guardian typing? Okay, so you guys can actually find the reasoning for this on the BF Pioneers website. Have to search for it though. But basically, I've already asked like everybody out there, like what their favorite typing is, and like 95 out of 100 people will always say like Anima because that's just how it is, right? In general, you see the highest amount of HP all the time, so you want that HP maxed out. Which I do agree, Anima is still a good type, but for me, I've been using Animas and Guardians extensively, and I just personally like Guardian types better.
Okay. Is Lance back?
Lance, no.
All right. Well, while we wait for, I want Lance's opinion to see how he captures Miku so efficiently.
Okay, sorry about that. My internet it just suddenly went off. It was working fine the entire day, and when it's my turn to talk, finally it decides to, turn off and reset. So sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So Lance, I had a question for you. Nova and I both have done the Miku dungeon several times, and we have no captures. But you have over 10 captures. So
yeah, I do.
How is that possible? Like, what do you recommend other people who are having trouble?
Okay, so I was saying this earlier, but Demo's drop rate was insanely good in my opinion. Like I would do her dungeon 5 times, and I would capture like 3 of her. But this unit Miku, she's really hard to capture, and hard as in like you have to. And when people say that Demo's drop rate was 25%, like mine rate was like closer to 50%. But now people are saying that Miku's drop rate is 25%, and I've actually seen her drop rate be 25%. Um, but what I've noticed is that I was farming her, and then when I have leftover energy, what I would do is I would do level 1 and level 2. But out of 18 captures, none of those has been level 1 and level 2. So I would recommend, if you're having trouble, not farming level 1 and level 2. I haven't 18 captures, probably like over 40 runs, and so don't do level 1, don't do level 2, but do level 3. And I don't know, maybe maybe if you stream it, you'll be more lucky to catch her. But just keep on farming her. I know that what I did was I just put it on, pick like a really strong team, probably like a crit team or a really strong team that can clear really quickly, and and sit in front of your TV or sit in front of your computer and watch some CSI, watch some TV shows like Survivor, and then put on auto battle. And by the time you notice, you'll have like so many Mikus, and that's what I was doing for
Well,
like
that's
4 or 5 hours.
perfect. Okay, so I guess no secret formula. Maybe just start streaming on Twitch and you'll get lucky.
Yeah.
Maybe like Gumi's watching you and be like, well, this guy's streaming. We'll just
That
put a Miku
hmm
in his dungeon run.
Yeah, and if you guys
That'd
want
be
to see
lovely.
if you guys want to see a picture, I'll show you the picture of when I finally captured my last Miku, and it was Anima, and then I took a picture of it. So I'll show it to you guys if you guys want to see. All right.
Wow. Okay. So what are the viewers vote?
5 stars, 19 votes, and we weren't expecting this many people to be voting. So
Yes, yes.
right now, if you check the poll, it's already maxed out. We really will try to get that fixed next time, but right now it's 19 votes for 5 star and 16 votes for 4 star.
Yeah, sorry about that, because normally when we get votes, we get like 10 or 20, and we're like, please vote, and then maybe one or two more will vote, but we've never maxed it out before. But
Oh, okay.
it's gonna be a simple solution. Yeah, we just have to give PolyV some money, and then they'll lift it to unlimited. So we'll get that ready for you guys next time. If there's more people free, we'll do it next time. So
Okay.
yeah.
So I guess you guys need to vote quickly to get your vote in. Otherwise, the opportunity will be gone before you know it. Okay, the next unit today we are ranking is, of course, Luca. Now, Luca has a similar concept to Miku in that Luca is also a Vocaloid. One of the songs that you heard during the intro was actually performed by Luca. So, Luca as a unit, how is she in terms of usefulness? Lance.
Yeah, I think I should go first because I think yeah, I have her. So out of us three, I have her currently. So I should let you guys know about her. I got my Luca through the giveaway yesterday. So if you guys didn't know, Brave Frontier actually streamed on Twitch yesterday, and they had about 2,300 viewers. And so what they did was they every single like maybe 30 minutes or so, they'll type in the code onto the chat, and I was lucky enough to actually type it in for everyone out of like those like thousands of viewers, and so I got the first Luca that they gave away, and so I've been playing with her for the last day, and um, Luca doesn't have a 5-star form, and when you enter in her code, you're gonna get her instantly through your mailbox. So even if it says that she'll be coming soon, she probably won't be coming soon. If you get a message like that, you probably are like the second, third, fourth people that entered the code in. If you entered in first, you will get her instantly. She will show up in your inventory box, your mailbox. So,
Yep.
and when she shows up there, she's a random type, so you can get anything. You can get an Oracle type. But I was lucky, and I got a Guardian type. Guardian is pretty good, but unfortunately the unit, it's pretty bad. I took her to fight as yesterday, and I put on a Liguanjin for her, and this unit she still got one shot. And and it's just not because I was fighting thunder. I was fighting fire units. I was fighting fire units with my earth unit team, and she got one shot. While my earth units Miku, she was fine. and she's using Medulas. So this unit, you probably can't use her to fight. You probably can't use her to level. She's a unit that it's kind of like a trophy. You just get her and make her your leader and show off to your friends. But other than that, you can't really use her. Her stats is too low. Like I really wish that she would have a 5-star form, but she doesn't have a 5-star form. So because of that, her stats is really low, and her skill it doesn't do that much. For example, I believe at level 10, her heal overturn is like around like 800 each round, and that will barely heal you. Like when you see the heal like heal on your units, you're gonna be healing like 10, maybe 15%, and that's like nothing. Compared to something like an LMO heals you for like 2,300, and here's this unit healing for like maybe like 6 to 800 a turn. That's like nothing, and her damage isn't really high. So she's kind of like a trophy unit. So I think if I were to have her as a trophy unit, I think I would pick an Anima, and I oh god, if she wasn't so rare, I would give her 1 star. But I would give her a 2 star, just because how rare she is. And she is useful. Like, don't get me wrong, she is useful. But the thing is, after you go into like mid game, into the end game, like you won't use her anymore. Maybe in the beginning, she's useful in the beginning, but once you get into the middle of the game, that's it. You can't use her anymore. So, all right, Nova and Trollocs.
Yeah. So looking at Luca, I was really confused why it was capped at 4-star because at least make it 5-star max because then it would be a lot easier to use stat wise and Brave Burst wise. And I kind of get the same feeling at glance. Like this is more of one of the units that you just want to keep and show off and say like you have it. But in terms of usability, you wouldn't actually use this unit at all. It would be kind of difficult to, because just the stats right now. If you compare all of the other units we have right now, they all max out at 5 stars, which means stat-wise, this is probably the only like rare unit that caps out at 4 stars. And then you look at the amount of 6 stars we have out, and there's so big of a gap, stats wise, Brave Burst wise, Super Brave Burst wise, that we'd rather use any one of those units. Like even a 6-star Eric would beat Luca by far. So because of that, Luca is probably rare summon wise or obtainable the worst unit you can get. But I know everybody has been waiting for a dark healer that's actually healing on a BB skill. It's the first of its kind, so I would have given this unit 1 star. But just for that, it gets 2 stars from me as well. And obviously, since I am Guardian fan, I would love to have mine Guardian, but of course, any type would be fine.
And what did the viewers vote?
The viewers voted for 5-star, 14 votes.
Okay. So when you guys are voting, on the left side, it shows you like a guideline as to how you could vote. So being a 5-star, it has to be like a top 3 unit in its tier, which means you're ranking Luca as the top 3 dark units. So just pointing that out. And I think Nova pointed out that Luca may be worse than Eric, and Eric is
Shh.
there.
Don't know that.
Don't know. Okay. All right, so let's see. Oh, we had a question from Daxter. Okay, so I think his question was, do you prefer Miku or Demo?
Oh god, that's a pretty hard question because they do different things. Like for example, the time I use Demo is when I'm doing metal parades, because of our high hit count, which is the highest in the game, 17. And when I use Miku, it's for battle crystals generation. I mean, Demo can generate battle crystals too, but she's more of like a leader. And for Miku, I like her as a person that's not a leader, but inside like a team, just to help generate battle crystals. They each have their own thing, but I think in the end, I think Demos is going to be more used because of her really unique leader skill. I mean, come on, once we get Selena's Sphere, she's gonna give you a second turn Super Berry Burst in Arena, you know? And she's still amazing, like amazing farming middle parades. So, yeah, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think?
For me, looking at Miku and Zemo, I think Miku would be used as a lead more often than Demo for general use, like if you don't have a high spark count team. Because personally, I wouldn't bring too many Demos and Mikus, but if I had to choose, I'd say Miku would be better as a leader as of right now. Um, but Demo would outshine her where you have a nice rare summon team with high hit counts. And in general, Demo has higher damage on BB, and it's double element, it's light and dark. So I think if I had to choose between Miku and Demo, I'd choose Demo if I had to really pick.
Okay, we
Yeah,
have
Nova was just saying like, is this where you are in the game? If you have really good units, really strong team like Demo, but if you're just starting out, then yeah, maybe Miku is better for you because getting high hit count units it's pretty hard, you know. So yeah, I think that's what Nova was saying.
another question from Lash 101. Would you recommend Miku team for sparking and Frontier Hunter or a mixture?
Okay, so I'm just gonna say something really quickly, and then Nova is gonna take over. But the thing about Miku is her attack damage is really low. So, so Nova, I know Nova said like he rather have units that have lower attack so that you can get more sparks, more turn, more points. But the thing is, you can't. But the thing is, she only has a 5 star, so it's really hard to survive using her and taking that many turn. You know, you're taking a risk every turn. So I just want to point that out first, and then Noah answer your question. Go Nova.
Yeah. So stats wise, Miku doesn't have enough survivability to be able to basically keep up sparking for multiple turns, whereas units like Douglas, Luther, Zelha just have higher base stats and can stay alive even with buffs. From other units, I think Miku and even Demo will still have a hard time depending on that unit. So it's really up to you if you want to try it out, but I really wouldn't recommend bringing them into Frontier Hunter at all because it's too risky, like Lance said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unless you're running, like, if you can, probably the only way you can do that is if you run half damage and a defense buffer as well. But thing is, you're already losing like a lot of sparks because of that. So it's not really worth it, in my opinion, if you're looking to get the most points to sacrifice dying. You know, you don't want to
Yeah,
die. That's
risking. Yeah.
number one.
Uh,
Yeah, as long as you clear, you can usually get a really decent score just for clearing because of the extra points. So you want survivability first, and then if you want maximum points, then um, sure, you'd bring more Mikus to deal more spark damage, but you'd risk dying and not getting a good score at all.
Okay, so let's move on to the next unit, the fire unit Luther. Now, Luther, it looks like the voting is already going through, so
mm.
Lance, let's talk about Luther. What do you think
I
about
think
him? He's a high hit count person. What do you think?
I think I'll just say this off the bat. I think out of this entire group, I think that Luther is the strongest out of this entire group. This is just my opinion, but if I were to pick a unit that I think is the strongest, I would say Luther is the strongest out of this entire group. So finally we have a unit that can actually really replace Douglas. Like this is really the first unit that can really replace Douglas with along with Zoha that just got released too. I really like this unit. He hits really hard. He hits harder than Douglas. He hits harder than Zaha, and I'm a big fan of Infinite BB. I'm a big fan of crit teams, you know, because I just I don't have that much time to play, and so when I want to play, I just want to get through things as fast as possible. And with Luther in your team, he can definitely do that for you. And he also gives you the spark damage buff that Douglas will give you. But the thing is, he'll give you the buff the same turn. So you use it, and he applies it, and then he gets it, and your team gets it. Unlike what I've been hearing is that Douglas he applies his buff. He doesn't apply it on him, you know. So he loses the buff. That's what I've read and been told. But yeah, 28 hits and boosting spark damage for 3 turns. I really really like him. Hits really hard, and the thing is, a lot of people they're saying, oh, but his like super ray burst, you know, like what is it even used for? And the thing is, his ray burst is used for killing bosses that are susceptible to paralyze and weakness. So, for example, what I would do is I would use his super brave burst to get to the boss, and then when I get to the boss, if I know that this boss can be paralyzed or have weakness, what I would do is I would just start spamming paralyze. I'll just start spamming his BB. So his BB has 80% chance of paralyzing or being weakened. So yeah, while your team is just rolling on the boss, you know, you can put Luther and just start trying to like stun the boss. Because if you stun the boss, he does no damage to you, and that is better than an Olu shield. That is better than a Darwin shield, half shield, you know. So I really really like a Luther, and for this reason, I'm giving him 5 star, and I love my Anima Luther, so Anima and 5 star.
Nova, what do you think about Luther?
Yeah, Luther, I think, is one of the top units in the game and one of the top units in this batch as well. Looking at his hit count, it's no slouch at 10. Um, he has a low BB fill rate for his single target as well, and like Lance said, when you go to a boss, even high hit count Spark teams against one unit won't be able to fill their SBB up all the way. So having a nice single target BB for that with effects is good for boss fighting. His SBB hit count is 28, and even though that's not as much as Douglas, just the fact that this unit cost is 27 compared to Douglas's 22 means that on average, Luther has better stats across the board. And when you look at it, this is true because he has 1700 base stats and higher. I wouldn't really use multiple Luthers though. I know a lot of people have been asking, like, wouldn't you use like 4 Luthers since we're using like 4 Douglas already, and they're kind of the same. And my response to that is, I really wouldn't recommend it right now because there's other units like Zelha that also have high hit count. But the thing is, Zelha does status effects on her
Mm-hmm.
Super Brave Burst, which can stack with other Zelhas, whereas Luther, if you have 4 Luthers, you're basically applying the same Spark buff, but that doesn't stack with anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Overall, yeah. Overall, Luther, for a lot of people, is a very solid unit. Definitely a top tier unit, which is why I'm going to give it definitely easy 5 stars. And for me, the attack and defense disparity is a little bit too much for me for content, which is why I raised my Guardian one. So it's like nice and even around 2k, 1900 to 2k attack defense each. And he'll be a little bit more tanky for me for future content. And I plan on using him for a really long time as well.
yeah, yeah. And I forgot to say something, but his Brabers actually hits harder than his Super Brabers, so that's why I'm gonna keep spamming on it on the boss. So yeah, really really happy with Luther, and I think Nova was saying this, but you don't want to use a multiple Luther because having that one spot is so important that you just don't want to stack the same buffs. So you're gonna get a spark damage plus, and if you use it again, it's not gonna stack. You know, you're gonna get the same buff again. So this is why Nova was saying that he'd rather have a Zolha so he can get the injury and weakness, and so they're actually stacked buffs. So, all right, Trellix.
What was your favorite typing, Nova, for Luther?
Guardian.
Okay. And the viewers vote. I'm going to guess 5 stars.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, 5
easy
stars.
5-star. Yeah.
And now I can point out that Luther is the #1 fire unit for the month of October. So the team came up with a consensus, and we all felt that this unit would be the best right now. All right, the next unit we're doing is Fee. Fee and Lance. What do you think about Fee?
I think Fee was my first unit that I got out of the entire batch. Um, I think when we rated her 5-star, I think a lot of people didn't like her. They were upset that we gave her I think a 3-star when she first came out, and we gave units like Luther at like 2-star, I believe, and they weren't happy because they thought that 5-star Luther was better than 5-star Fee, but we're like, we really like the AoE Bravers and the Heart Crystal for 3 turns. We're saying that we can use that, like even though she's 5-star, we can use her. But Luther, single target, it's really hard to use them, and that's why we gave Luther 2-star and Fee 3-star. And now that she has her 6-star, um, she's even better now. I think she's even better now. I think we're shifting from that point where we are shifting from like the mass heal. Um, I know everyone still hates like heal overturn. Like heal over 3 turns, which heals like almost nothing, and we like the mass heal. But we're reaching the point where we like the heart crystals drop increase. So I think that a heart crystal drop increase, it's a really nice skill because well, what happens is it's just like a heal every single turn. Like sometimes you won't be able to use your mass heal from a healer each turn, but the thing is you can always count on that heart crystal plus to heal your team. So if you have a team that has really high hit counts, something like multiple Luthers, multiple Zaha, or a mixer of them, you're gonna get like so many heart crystals that you're gonna be getting like full HP each turn, you know. And I just think that that's really nice, maybe even better than the mass heal. So for this reason, I really like my Fee, and I really wish I can give her a 5-star. I want to give her like a 4.5-star, but but because you can't use her every turn. So units I give solid 5 stars to are units I bring with me every single time I go play. I'll use them all the time. But the thing is, she's a healer that you don't really bring with you all the time. So for that reason, I want to give her 4.5 stars. But since I can't, I'll give her a 4-star. And my favorite type is Anima because she has really solid recovery. So I'll just take away some recovery and put it into HP. So there we go. 4-star and Emma.
Okay. Nova?
Yeah, going off of what Lance said, I've been using a 6-star Fee in the Japanese version of the game, and it really saves me the trouble of bringing a healer for anything because just want to attack every turn if possible, and Fee probably is the highest stat unit that does that right now. And you look at her stats, all above 1700. HP is at 6k, and that's really high even for water units. And looking at water units in general, it's like really hard to find a good like water unit that you can bring with you anywhere because it feels like other than Raiden, it's like so niche with their abilities. So having Fee out makes things healing and attacking a lot easier for all teams. And I really like Fee because for me it feels like whenever I'm doing content, it's like I don't really want to bring like cures or high cures and it seems like that one unit always gets singled out, and it's always in the red, and then you always have to bring like cures to heal that one unit. Whereas the buff increase, especially on Peace SBB, I've used it many times, and basically I've gotten like even when my entire team was like in the red, and then I just do some BBs and they're all back to full. So for that reason, I'm giving Fee 5-star because it's my favorite unit that attack and heals. And my favorite typing for Fee would be Guardian because I think of her as a healer. And for me, I think that healing type units have lower defense than recovery, so I just want to bring up that defense to match their recovery because it's already really high, and I don't want them dying either.
Mm-hmm. And the viewers vote.
4-star, 60 mils.
Understood. And now I can announce that Fee is number 3 in the water tier, based off our rankings. Olu and Raiden take the number 1 and number 2 spot. The next unit we are doing is the Earth unit, Naumika. And let's get the poll started. And Nova, take it away. What do you think about Naumika?
Okay, so Naumika is an Earth unit that people were kind of confused about at first. They had a lot of other units like Vishra and Lyra that have the leader skill where it gives random status elements when you attack. And I think Naumika goes one step further in that you get a boost in damage dealt when you spark with it. So she's actually meant for status ailment infliction teams that also have high sparking capabilities. And for those of you guys who don't know, Naumika is used a lot in the raid battle version in the Japanese game. So Naumika has the highest, I think, status ailment infliction later skill. It's tied with Lyra, but you get the extra bonus in spark damage, so it's definitely the best. And her own BB and SBB have the same chance of inflicting a random status ailment, except it's 50% on SBB and 65% on BB. And it's kind of like Luther, where the single target Brave Burst is slightly stronger than the AoE one. And I really actually like this unit because a lot of times I'd have to bring like very specific units to find out like, oh, can this unit get like poisoned or paralyzed or cursed or injured or weakened? Whereas this unit, like if you need to inflict status ailments, that's what you bring. And it does that really, really well. And for a raid battle, at least, I think this unit will shine in that. It doesn't really, right now, it doesn't really appeal to too much people because we don't have raid yet. But I'm sure everybody will want Naumika for that reason. And having seen it work to great success in a lot of teams, including like Maxwell teams, and now we have Cardis in Japan, and people have still been using Naumika, so that gives me a heads up and says, oh, this unit's still really good, and a lot of people still use her, even though there's other leads and other units out. So for that reason, I'm probably gonna help balance things out with Naumika as well, and give her a 5-star rating and Guardian type again.
Lance, what's your opinion?
Namika is a really solid hero. I remember playing back when a 6-star Lyra came out, and people were like, oh my god, 6-star Lyra is so strong, you know, you can use her to get status elements on bosses, you know, and they were so happy when, you know, when her status elements affliction rate is only about 10%, you know, and they're so happy and they're only using her for that reason. And you'll see her like used against the ground jelly, you know. So and then suddenly we have Namika, you know, and this unit has the same leader skill, which can inflict like random status elements. But the thing is, her BB and her SBB can actually inflict like a really high chance of status elements. And so for this reason, she's amazing, and she's going to be used a lot more now. Like we just don't see it yet because we haven't seen those really strong bosses where we need to give them status elements like poison, like paralyze, like curse. You know, like all these like weaken. You know, all these elements to help us survive the fight and kill them faster. But we just haven't seen them yet. So once we see them, I think everyone's gonna appreciate Namika. Everyone's gonna want one, just like dual SGX. You know, like no one really appreciated it when he first came out, but then after people just saw what he could do, everybody wants a dual SGX. Like almost everybody needs a dual SGX, and I think Namika is gonna be like this in the future too, but we just haven't seen it. And I know that Nova he did what 800 honor summons, and he has like a
Yep.
lot of first frogs. So for this reason, I'm gonna nominate Nova to like use like 20 of them on Namika and get SBB 10 and fight the Grand Jelly for us, so we can see how useful she is. So yeah, but I think Namika is gonna be like a staple in the future. So I'll give her a 5 star, and my favorite type for her would be, I'm looking at it right now, Anima again. Really high recovery, 1800 base recovery. So I'm like a fan of HP. So yeah, so I want to stack HP still to get past 10,000, and that's where I'm happy. So Anima Namika,
Okay.
5 star.
What were the viewers' vote?
The viewers vote 4 star, 17 votes.
Okay, 4-5-5. So all of these votes are very close, with the exception of Luca, but it's all right.
Yeah,
I
we all
respect your
know
votes,
that.
and I can see why
Yeah.
you guys voted as
Yeah,
such.
yeah. I think exactly where I want to vote. If I could vote 4.7, I would give her 4.7. So I'm really happy that
Evened
she
out.
got yeah. She's really close to 5. But the thing is, I don't think she's quite there. But she's so close that I just have to give her a 5. But I think 4.7 is a good number. Just for me. Yeah.
The thing is, when we factor in all the votes, even in the previous unit analyses that we've
Uh,
done, it looks pretty good. Like
yeah, it looks
this
real
is
good.
like the decimal point to the 10th place like we would have put. So
Yeah.
okay, the next unit up is the Thunder unit Uda. Now Uda, a lot of people have said that it may be a replacement for Felneus. Is this unit better than Felneus? Well, we'll find out. Lance, what do you think?
I think he is the replacement, and I think that once he now that he's out, like the only reason why you wouldn't use him over Felnius is if you don't have him. I think that's the only excuse you can use. You know, like you can't be like I have both Felnius and I have both Uda, and I choose to use Felnius. You know, like I think the only reason why you use Felnius from now on is because you don't have a Uda. And Uda is so strong. Uda is basically like a Felnius, but with an average stat of like 1,000 higher. So Vilnius is 6,000 around average stats, and then Uda has around 7,000 average stats, and that makes a big difference, you know. And he also has higher hit counts. So yeah, so he also has higher hit counts, so that's gonna help you too in generating battle crystals. Um, I just think he's he's something that everyone needs. Like you need one Uda, because sometimes you know you just don't have that team. You just want to have a leader that can bring with you on every single fight. You know, no matter what your team comp is, if you want to use all water, all fire, like whatever, mix of like light and darkness, and you don't know who to bring as your leader, you can just bring a Uda, because Uda, he will make any team good. You know, he will make any team good. Just like Vilnius, you know, like Vilnius is so flexible. You know, you can put him anywhere, and your team would be good. And this is just like Phineas, but the thing is, he has much better stats. He hits harder. He hits more often, and yeah, he's just like amazing leader. I was watching Justin Flynn play Brave Frontier
Justin
yesterday.
Flynn.
Honest, yeah, and his first choice that he can bring was like a really high level Uda, on his friend list, and then he chose something else, something like I forgot what it was, but he chose something else, like a really bad choice, like a Lyra or something like that as his friend leader instead of the Uda, and I'm like, why, what? Justin Flynn, what are you doing? Like Uda is so good, and yeah. So yeah, Uda, he's a solid 5. I gave Felnius 5, and Uda is Felnius' replacement, so he gets a 5-star too. And my favorite type is, of course, Anima. So, all right, guys.
Nova?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say that Uda is the best unit in this set, and the reason is very simple. Felnius probably the leader for such a long time of many teams, and like you could switch up what you did, but it didn't really feel the same without having a Felnius leader. And I think transitioning that to like a better version of Felnius, Uda, which is a Thunder type, and I think Thunder units in general are more difficult to bring for questing purposes because it's kind of difficult to find a really good Thunder unit nowadays. Even though we did have Loden, but you really needed to have a specific Rainbow team for that, so it really wasn't usable all the time. Whereas Uda, you can use 100% of the time. A lot of people think that Uda is really just meant for like questing and for his BB, insane BB fill and SBB. But the other thing that people might not know about Uda is that he is the best, I think, Thunder Arena unit
Mm-hmm.
for low BB fill rate, because a lot of people just get overshadowed by the fact that, oh, this unit Uda, he's like Felnius, so um, like there was a time when Felnius was really good in Arena because we didn't have that many units to like BB fill right away. But now Uda has 15 Battle Crystal count, which is the same as Farlon, Lyra, and Ophelia. And when you think about those units in Arena as well, this just makes Uda even better than what you originally thought he was. It's like, oh, I can only just use this unit for questing and like Frontier Hunter, but you can actually use him in Arena as well. And I think on top of that, like none of the other units in this set would be easily bringable to Arena because either their BB takes a little too long to fill or it's single target. But Uda is like one of the rare cases where it's AoE and it's low fill count, and it's also a really great leader and you bring it everywhere. So easy 5-star for me. And since I love the Guardian typing so much, I actually maxed this unit out Guardian type, and it's already I think SBB 10 like an hour after it was released. So I'm really happy with my Uda, and I'll probably be using it as my leader for a really long time as well.
Yeah, when Dia first came out, people were like, "Oh, Dia is the better Loden," and then people were like, "Okay, so if I replace my Loden with Dia, like, what am I supposed to do for my Thunder unit?" Bam, Thunder Arena unit, and so yeah, so Dia replaces your leader and replaces Farlong, and bam, you have Uda to replace your Loden, and so like instant Rainbow team. That's OP. There we go.
Nova, did you give Uda a 5-star?
Yes,
Okay.
obviously.
So, I am pleased to announce that Uda, based off the team's ranking, is the #1 Thunder unit for the month of April.
October.
Why did I say April?
You said April.
Where am I?
April Fool's.
Okay, yeah.
Until April.
Yeah,
April, guys.
That might
Whoa.
be.
October.
Yeah.
That's right.
But
That's
this
why
is
you
easy
go
win for Uda. 33 viewers says 5 stars, so really easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
that's a crushing defeat. Get it?
Looks like we also gave Naumika number 4 as to the best Earth units, and the 3 units that were better were number 1 Douglas, number 2 the Tree, and number 3 Zelbin. And Naumika takes a solid 4. Okay, let's continue with the highly anticipated light unit, Zelha. Now, Zelha has 6-star form, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking to evolve her, if not already. So, Nova, you want to go ahead?
Yes. So Zelha is one of the units that I think art-wise a lot of people really like because of her design. And this unit, I think, is still really good. Like, we were talking about how you wouldn't want multiple Luthers, but it's still fine because he has 28 hit count, and Zelha has 30 hit count. And her super brave burst gives injury and weakness, and that'll stack with other Zelhas as well. So I think it's okay to bring like maybe 2, at most 3 Zelha in the team. And her stats are really good as well. They're more balanced than Luther, and there really isn't too many faults you can find with a unit that has 30 hit count and gives injury and weakness to opponent other units with a single target BB skill that does the same thing except does more damage. I've been using 6-star Zelha as well in the Japanese version. Like basically every unit in this set except Kaja I have in the Japanese version, and I was really happy with that because I think this set is really good. And Zelha, the only thing I can say bad about her is her really awkward SBB length time. Because what a lot of people have been doing with Zelha is that they're trying to spark Zelha with other units, and it doesn't really work out too well because her delay time in between each of her hits is actually pretty long. Like when you think of Douglas and when you think of Luther, like you see their super brave bursts go off and it's over like that. Same thing with like um, Demo and Miku, even though theirs are slightly longer, whereas Zelha takes like a really long time. And even though like it's not the best for sparking, it still does a pretty good job for generating battle crystals, which is more important, I think. But I give this unit like a 4.7, 4.8, just because of that fact. Because it's like I can't stress how difficult it is to actually spark because not everybody has maxed out 6-star Zelha with SBB already because it's only been a day.
Uh-huh.
So I'd still give this unit 5-star, yeah. And my favorite typing is obviously Guardian because, as you can see, up until now, every unit I've rated is Guardian, and I only really do that if I look at a unit and I'm like, I'll be using this unit for a long time, and for me, having more defense is always an important thing. So I just want more defense on them.
Yes, Guardian. Okay, Lance, what do you think of Zelha? Now, oh, by the way, I have to just say that back with Uda, I had the choice between a Guardian Uda and an Anima Uda, and then I remember just Nova advocating Guardian all the time, Master Race, and I ended up leveling up a Guardian Uda instead of my Anima. And everyone knows you only need one Uda, so there it is. Lance, Zelha time. What do you think?
It might not be true, Trailox. You might need 2 Udas now, so you can have both
Yeah, you're right.
Anima
Actually,
and a Guardian.
Anima
Yeah,
is not underestimated. That's right.
Yeah, because it seems like the trials are getting harder and harder.
Uh-huh.
So you don't just need one team now. You might even need 2 or 3 teams. And who knows? Like for one trial, you might use a Uda as a leader, and then a second Uda will be your leader again. So.
Well, guess what? If Guardian fails me, I know who to blame.
Oh,
Okay, so Zoha. All right,
okay.
Zoha. So, like off the bat, Zoha, she has lower attack stats than Luther. Zoha has lower damage multiplier than Uda. So if you look at Zoha's damage multiplier, it's only at 350%, and Uda has, or not Uda, but Luther has 400% damage multiplier. So that means that Luther has higher attack and his multiplier is higher than Zoha. So you'd be going, okay, so why would people use Zelha over Luther, when Luther is simply like out damages her? Well, the reason why people would use Zelha is because of Maxwell. So when Maxwell comes out, uh, Zelha is gonna shine like so hard because you can create this really nice mono-like team. So double Maxwell and put Zelha in your team, and you'll be golden. If you were to rate here by herself, like just like Noah said, maybe 4.5, 4.6, something on the not 5 but lower. But the thing is, Maxwell is coming out so soon that Zelha, she's just gonna shine so well with Maxwell, and you're gonna like have a monolite team, bring your light ores, your light seals, and the thing is, I know that Zelha is really hard to spark, but the thing is, with the monolite team, you can actually use like maybe like 2, and even go crazy, and maybe even use like 3 Zelha, and we're using units with the same attack animation. It's easier to spark with them because they have the same attack animation, so their animation will overlap at some point. So it's a little bit easier to spark if you have like 2 or 3 Zoha. But yeah, just because Maxwell's coming, Zoha, she's gonna see like a lot of use with Monolite team, and for this reason, she's gonna get a 5 star. And of course, I'm gonna pick Anima. Um, like the only reason I don't pick Anima is if their Oracle stat is really hurting rating, so really low, like really hurting rating, or the defense is really low and is really hurting. But the thing is, really healthy stats, 1896 recovery, 1703 defense, and that's enough for me. So I'll go with Anima, and yeah, and I'm gonna surprise you guys. The next, you guys might think, oh, Anima all the way, but let me surprise you next time. Yeah, with the next
No,
unit.
it's gonna be Animal.
Okay, we're going to tackle a couple of questions that were posed earlier during the UDA discussion. So, you, Corey, asks, is Miku the best alternative for Uda and Felneus?
Miku.
Miku, Hatsune Miku.
Uh, um, replacing who? Felnius and Uda?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh God. All right, Nova, what
That's
do you
kind of
think first?
difficult.
Yeah, what do you think?
Personally, for me, I'd still. The thing is, Miku's stats and mediocre damage output. Even though it's the high hit count, you just want a unit that has better stats. And like the next thing that comes into my mind, even though a lot of people kind of probably forgot about this unit, is Bordebagia, because this unit gives a crit buff and it gives a spark buff, and it has the same meter skill as Uda and Felnius. It's just missing the extra battle crystal drop rate, which is more important than like more damage output. Um, for me, at least, I'd rather have something like that uh, over Miku. And I guess if you're bringing a team like a high spark K count team, and like you're bringing all these new units like Luther, like Zelha, and Douglas, and you're not bringing any of the units like Michelle, Zelbin, to give you extra attack and defense. I think Leoron would be another leader that you could probably bring, because like Miku and Demo, like they need attack, defense, and like recovery as well. And Leoron as a leader already does that. Gives 3 buffs and attacks, and the leader skill for Leoron is based off of hit count usually. And with those units having high hit count that you can farm already, I think it's a better choice to have like a Leoron lead if you really need to use just like Miku's and Demos, you know.
Yeah, and my thoughts on Miku versus units like Portavegia or units like Phileas and Uda that has Ares Excelsior. Um, it's really a big difference because with units like Phileas, Uda, and Portavegia, you're getting a 50% boost. So your battle crystals is going to be multiplied by 1.5 times. And with Miku, you're getting 25% boost. So that's like half the battle crystal multiplier that you're going to be getting. And I just think that's a lot because I think I forgot which unit it was, but there was a unit that didn't have 1.5, which is a 50% boost multiplier. They had a 1.4, and just because it had a zero point 0.4, which is like a one, like zero point 0.1 difference, people like were hating. I forgot this unit, but it has not quite as good, but it's at 1.4. And so we're looking at a unit that has 1.25, and I know that she has 3 battle crystals per turn, but the thing is, if you have a team that has like really high attack counts and it can generate like a lot of battle crystals per turn, that that 0.25 difference or 25% boost is gonna like be so much more than the 3 battle crystals per turn. But if you're using a team that has low hit counts, or you're fighting like a boss, or you're going to be defending a lot more per turn, then definitely Miku. But I think most of the time, you're going to be using like really high hit count teams. So you want to go with something like Uda and something like Vilnius. But the thing is, if you don't have them, a good alternate is Border Bigia, just like Nova mentioned. So yeah, so yeah, that's my reasoning of when you choose each of them. So
Sounds good. We have a couple more questions. Here's a question from Vegeta1230. Does it matter what type of Uda that you get, or are all types that good?
I'm just gonna go out and say it. I'm saying all types are good.
Yeah.
Uda, like his stats is so high. It's like so high. Like when you max him out at level 100, it's like you're getting like an average. Like each stat is like around 22, 2300. Yeah, like really high stats. So you can't go wrong. You know, if you pick Oracle, you lose HP, but he still has so much HP. If you get a Breaker, he loses some defense, but he still has so much defense. If you get a Guardian, he loses attack, but he still has so much attack left over. So like if I had any Uda, and that was my only one, I think he's totally usable. What do you think, Noah?
Yeah. For me, like a lot of people like are like type hunting for because they think that, oh, I need to get this type, but you're losing a lot of people are losing gems that way if they're looking for typing because you'd only really do that if you really want the type like really badly because um, these units now have just in general so high stats base that the typing you get doesn't really matter. Like you wouldn't blame like your Uda like, oh, I lost because my Uda was Oracle, whereas like if somebody else had like a Lord, they'd lose like what, like 200 HP. Like you wouldn't really say that, oh, like I lost because that 200 HP killed me, right? You'd say like, oh, like the other units, like I didn't bring the right units instead. Like
Or
I should
yeah,
have
the right
brought like a Darwin
items, wrong
Shell or an
spear.
Olu. Yeah, I didn't put a Leguan on it, or didn't put Medulla on it, or I put a Divine Stone on it, but it was turn 1, so it got wrecked. Yeah, that's my opinion as well. Like the typing doesn't matter too much anymore because either you can buff it with spheres, you can buff it with other units, and if that doesn't work, then you're just bringing the wrong units to whatever you're fighting. And sometimes you just don't have the right units for it.
All right, let's go through the next few questions rather quickly. Excellent asks, can Luther replace Douglas?
Definitely, that's the easy question. Definitely
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Okay, another next question, Mr. King, RFW. Do you guys think if Gumi buffed Oracle to increase BB gauge as well as recovery, we would want to use it more?
Yes, I think then it would be a serious contender over Anima because a lot of the unit is really centered around their Brave Burst and Super Brave Burst, especially because um, you know all of your damage comes from it, all of your buffs come from it, and you need to have that ready like every turn. So just decreasing the amount of crystals, even though it might just be like 5, it's still a huge deal, especially even for arena units, because as long as your brave bursts go off, on average, like you have a ton go off, then you'd win no matter what you face, because brave bursts do way more damage, and it's basically what every team kind of strives to do. That's why like spark high hit count teams are so valuable, because they get all the battle crystals back, whereas other teams who hit only like even 15 times, 20 times couldn't do that.
Okay. Final question from 777 Razor. Does Uda leader BB boost stack with other BB leader BB boost?
Yep, easy question. Yep, leader skills definitely do
Yep.
stacks. The only exception when leader skills don't stack is when it's turn-based. Like for example, it lasts only 2 turns, and then if you
Yeah.
give it to an unit, it won't last 4 turns. It's just gonna be 2 turns
Yeah,
again. So.
I think Lugina is still the only unit that has a turn-based leader skill where it doesn't stack, and that's pretty much it as far as I know. Everything else stacks for a leader skill at least, unless it's redundant, like you bring a Ronald and then you bring a friend Ronald. You wouldn't get the
Double
double
immunity.
double status immunity, but you still get whatever boosts they have otherwise. Yes.
By the way, if I missed a question, the chat's going really fast, so I apologize. You guys can just keep typing the question until I see it, but I will see it, and we will address those questions. However, we have stayed at Zelha a long time. How did the viewers vote? Oh, of course, 5 stars, right?
Yeah,
Of course.
5-star. Yeah.
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 I'm pretty sure.
Easy.
Okay, the final unit of the day is Kaja. Lance, start us off. How good is Kaja? I'm not a fan of his leader skill, just to point that out, but how good is he?
Yeah, since you mentioned his leader skill, let's just start with his leader skill.
Yeah.
And his leader skill is a great boost to attack when he has 30% HP or less, and the attack buff is 100%. So, I don't know. I don't know if you would purposely try to like get him hurt, and leave him at 30%, or do you would
Yeah.
purposely have like potions and heals and not use it on him. The only reason, okay. So this scenario is a scenario I'd be thinking of because I have a lot of them. I don't know if I should say I'm lucky or unlucky, but I got probably like 12 Kajas. So this is the scenario which I thought of where I can use them. I'll start off. Okay. So let's say we're doing like a vortex, like I don't know, like a Atro or else, as vortex or something. And so at the beginning, I'll leave him. I'll do like an easy fight, and then I'll make sure he gets hit, and I'll heal him, and then I'll leave him like around 30%, and then we can start doing the 1 turn clear. So 1 turn clear, 1 turn clear, 1 turn clear, and then at the end, I'll just wreck the boss because he hits so hard, and he has that boost to his attack. But yeah, you don't want the CNET because to use his leader skill, you gotta leave him at 30% of HP, and that's so scary. I think most of us, when we're getting near like 50% HP, or maybe even like 75% HP, we're healing already. Like, we're using potions, we're using our healers, we're healing our units already, and so you're gonna leave a unit around like a quarter HP. That's like so scary because like the units nowadays, they can wipe out your entire team even if they have full HP. So you're basically you're basically like throwing a die and saying like this guy, he won't die next turn, like he won't turn next turn, but the chances is he's gonna die. And so for this reason, his leader skill is probably trash. It's just like trolling. If you want to go and troll and use them, then it's fine. But the thing is, his SBB, now that's something else. His SBB, it's 720% attack multiplier. So 720%. That is a lot, for attack multiplier. So for example, the highest multiplier in the game is oh god, how can I forget this?
Eric at 800%.
Eric, yeah, Eric at 800%, and this guy, he has 720%, So the thing is, this attack is an AOE attack, AOE attack at 720% with the injury effect. So, this skill when it hits, it's gonna hit so hard. But unfortunately, this is almost the same as the Golem SB, where Gumi they nerf it so hard that to use it you need 70 battle crystals. So 70 battle crystals to hit really really hard. So it's really hard to use them too. I mean, if his battle crystal cost was lower, you can be like, oh, his leader skill sucks, but the thing is he can use it in his team, and this guy he will wreck everything because if you guys don't know, the average AOE SBB is around like 400%, and this guy is hitting 720%. But the thing is, his battle crystal cost is like so high, like so high that it's really hard to use his SBB like all the time. So,